eu quero passar, pois o samba está animado. O UWS Samba. Good morning, soccer fans, and welcome to the UWS Kickoff Show, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. Man, this summer we have had some matchups. It has been fun, and we are here to get you primed up for the weekend action in UWS and UWS2 by bringing you interviews, stories, and updates as we get ready for each and every game that is going to happen this weekend and what happened this past week as well. Today, I am joined by my hosts, Steven and Megan. Steven, how are you guys doing? Megan, what's going on? What's new, y'all?
Well, it's early, bright and early, but it's my time of day, and I'm chilling, and I'm happy to be on. Thanks for inviting me, Jonathan and Megan.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's game day for me, so hydrating over here, squinch your life, feeling good, ready to talk some soccer ahead of my game, so best way to prepare.
Yeah, what time is your game today, Megan?
7 o'clock kickoff down in Fort Lauderdale, so we've got a bit of a drive ahead of us, but nothing that won't stop us.
There you go. I like it. I like it. So today, you guys, we are talking about the matchup between the Muskegon Risers and Detroit City FC. It's a rematch of week 2 that saw Detroit City coming out on top 2-1. Muskegon looking to return the favor, and we'll see. We'll see, right? So we are joined today. We'll have Elisa and Sam from Detroit City FC and Erica join us from Muskegon here a little bit later. So first off, let's get into this last week. This last week saw a lot of a change, you could say. We have a power ranking that has come out. We have a bunch of stuff. And one of the people, I didn't hear any flack from anybody regarding the power rankings, except for one of my hosts. Steven did not like the way the power rankings shook out. We have CT Fusion as number 5, Side FC at number 4, Detroit City at 3, the Chicago Mustangs at number 2, and our number 1 club, the Lone Star Republic, after their win against the Athenians. Steven, what was wrong with this power ranking?
I just think FC Buffalo has been putting in like a lot of good work, and I want to see them go up. And as I've been watching them play, I've been really like digging their play style. Alicia Masters, man, she is just incredible. So I just think they deserve to be a little bit higher up in the power rankings, and I think that's going to happen this week. So
I definitely see it happening, especially after their win the other night, and they've got another match coming up this weekend. So hopefully they can do. Megan, were you shocked by this, or were you okay with the way the power rankings shook out for week 1 here?
Yeah, I think it was kind of as expected. I mean, we kind of spoke about these games a bit, and I think that I do agree with the FC Buffalo thoughts, but I think it's more because of the scorelines being so big for these, like the Lone Star Republic coming out and getting a 6-goal differential. Like, that's so big against a really top team as well. Like, that's just going to put them straight into first, and then that's already one power ranking, like top place gone, despite the fact they've only played 1 match. So it's kind of a hard one because I do feel like they deserved it, but at the same time, they really have only played 1 match. The East Conference has been a lot closer in terms of scoreline, so I think that could come into it as to why we didn't see someone in the top 5 from there. But yeah, I think all to play for, definitely a good shout, and I'm interested to see how it's going to pan out for the rest of the season.
We had a lot of matches this past week, and so let's each go over one match that had our interest in particular. Megan, why don't you start us off this morning? What match from week 4 caught your eye?
So for me, it was the clash between 2 high-powered clubs in the East that finished all square: Connecticut Fusion 2, New England Mutiny 2. So Megan Doyle opened up the scoring. We're going to see that goal a bit later on in the show. It was a free kick that she hit into the bottom right. And then we also saw probably my favorite celebration. Although we did just talk about a great celebration last week, this one does top it for me, but we'll save that for later. So
let's go with it.
Okay. So lovely free kick, but that's what I think makes this goal. Takes 1-0 lead and pulls out like some gymnastic flip routine. I love it.
We'll go one more time here from Megan because it excites her. I don't think they do this. I don't think they do this very often. If this was done in England, they would probably slip on the turf because it's so wet, right?
Yeah, they would just go smack down in a puddle, honestly. But you know what? I love that. So that gave them a 1-0 lead. But second half, it came out. Both teams fighting, chances at both ends, and New England were the first to capitalize. They won the ball in the midfield, passed it out wide, and Lauren Berman knew exactly what she wanted to do. She cut inside and finished the ball right into the right side of the net. Brilliant strike. And then Catherine Barry converted on a great penalty for the Mutiny to take them ahead 2-1. Now, I believe this is her 4th goal of the season, so we're really seeing her come into form, and I think she's a player to watch. The Fusion did respond well, kind of kept it in their attacking half this whole time, and we saw a defensive mistake from the Mutiny. The pressure paid off, and they ended up sharing the points 2-2. So the Fusion are now sitting in second, and New England are tied for 4th after getting their second 2-2 draw of the season. So definitely 2 interesting teams, 2 very good teams splitting the points there.
Steve, what game had your attention? What had your eye from week 4?
I was definitely watching Lancaster Inferno. That New Jersey Copa match, that was just like a really good match. They were on their second match, so I was interested to see how they were going to be playing with 2 matches in a week, because that is definitely challenging. So Lancaster, they started out their 1 win, so responded well, conceding late equalizer, especially, they started well, especially after having that draw against Brooklyn City earlier, and I'm sure we'll go over that match as well. They responded well from conceding late, the equalizer in the first game of the weekend. They beat New Jersey Copa, who was also on a decent run. Sonia Rada scored that opening in the 9th minute, powering the header off Teresa Rook's corner. Gianna Yurchak, and I'm sorry if I mess up any names, then converted on another assist from Rook in the 45th minute, and then Inferno backline did well to keep a clean sheet. But one of the things I really liked about that second goal was really like the culmination of what they were trying to do in Copa's back half, like really trying to just apply pressure inside their own half. Anytime they lose the ball, it was really about like, let's group up, let's make sure we win that ball back. And it was something that, like, having that sort of press and that high energy in a match when you just played like the other day is just incredible to see. And they came out with a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, and anytime you can pull out a W and those kinds of let's call it adversity, right? And get through it. For me, the match that I have is Muskegon. Muskegon has been on the wrong side of 3 straight results. There was that opening 8-0 loss that they had to endure, but they've since gotten their footing a little bit. There have been some close results, and they finally got the result I think they deserved, defeating Lady Steel FC 4-2, giving them their first win as members of the UWS this past Saturday. And, Sarah Patron got Lady Steel off to a great start. They were up 1-0 in the 6th minute. But Muskegon answered, and they not only answered, they answered in 3. They brought back 3 goals, 3 straight goals. Candace Orns, Riley, and Hannah sent the hosts into the halftime break 3-1. Marissa Anderson had the deficit for the road team, but it which wasn't enough. Brenna Musser put the game away, put it to bed, you could call it, with her goal 4 minutes later in the 64th minute. Lots to think about as we go into the season. There's a lot of things. Producer Joe, the intern Joe Johnstone, wants to know, who would you say is the strongest conference at the moment? And I got to go with that Eastern Conference. I think the Eastern Conference, Megan capped on it and said, look, their score lines aren't this way or that way. They're right here in the middle. And I have to agree with Megan on that sentiment. Megan, are you going to stick with that as the strongest conference at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I said it when I was predicting the top 4. I was like, who do I pick from this conference? And they've proved me exactly right, because like we've said, it's just so close there. So definitely East Conference for me.
Steve, what conference has your eye right now? Who is the strongest at the moment?
I'm definitely going to go with the same, because I like seeing that close competition. I like seeing how there's moments in the game where both teams look like they're going to be the ones to pull it out, and it's just been really entertaining soccer. So it's definitely going to be the East for me as well.
And then John up in Michigan, 8 or 9. I think he's referring to the number of goals we're going to see in this Muskegon Detroit City game. Hopefully it's 4-4. Everybody has fun. I hope they both walk away with a point. I'll say that as the non-biased journalist. But we have a match tonight, you guys. 7 p.m. Local time in Michigan at Kieran Stadium. this later evening. It's afternoon here in California, but evening there for you guys in Michigan. The Risers look to avenge a week 2 defeat to Detroit City when they lost 2-1. Muskegon's seen a vast improvement since its opening 8-0 defeat to Corktown. Detroit City sees itself in the top 3 of the power rankings after it lost to Chicago Mustangs, and that had to have left just a bitter taste in the mouth. We'll find out more about that, and they want to send a message to the rest of the UWS this weekend that this was a once-in-a-lifetime loss. You won't see it again the rest of the season. So joining us as part of Detroit City FC, I want to welcome Elisa and Sam to the show. Sam and Elisa, how are you two doing this morning? Thank you for taking the time.
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
So listen, I got to ask, we got to get right into it. What is the game? Well, you can't even give us the game plan, but I'm going to ask, what do we expect from you guys today as your rematch with Muskegon?
For us, it's stay the course. Nothing really changes. You know, we got a little bump in the road last result, so we're just going to go back to where we started and continue to push in the direction we're going. I think everything's been good. Muskegon gave us a battle, and I think every game should be a battle and will be a battle in this conference. There's some ups and down results, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be the same way every time. And credit to Muskegon for after week 1 kind of sorting it out. And we're well coached, well organized. Goalkeeper stood on her head against us. And, you know, it's going to be a challenge again tonight.
Steven or Megan, you have any questions for Lisa and Sam?
Yeah, so Elisa, how was the kind of atmosphere in the dressing room after that 3-0 defeat? I mean, we saw it a lot on Twitter that, you know, oh my gosh, it's this huge thing, Detroit lost, but it happens in soccer. You know, you guys were coming off 3 games in 7 days. Was it more of a everybody needs to calm down, we're fine, or how was that atmosphere in the dressing room after that?
You know, obviously we were all kind of defeated. It was the first loss of the season, and you know, we all were obviously down, but at the same time, it took us a split second, and we were already looking ahead for the next match, because in the end, that's what matters. You know, letting the game be what it is, and, you know, it's in the past, and we're just flipping the switch and focusing on next week's game. So I think the team handled it really well, coming together and, you know, telling ourselves we are good. We have a next game that's coming for sure, and that's what we need to focus on.
Yeah, and Coach, you know, one of the things that I noticed with Muskegon and you guys' first meet is they definitely did not want to concede 8 goals again after doing it before. And they, like you said, were really organized. They tend to keep you away from coming inside and cutting inside towards their box. You know, what's your sort of like thought on how you may get around that this week if you start to see it again?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to keep the ball, force them to come out and get it. And from there, maybe we can find some bigger gaps and holes to play through. But, you know, against them the first time, I mean, when they tied the game a couple seconds into the second half, I don't even think I was sitting down ready to start the second half, and they scored an absolute golazo, which could have been goal of the week until we flipped it on them and scored another brilliant goal. So credit to both those goals. But, yeah, if we can be patient on the ball, keep it, make them move a little bit more and make it difficult for them to have it. And I think we'll see a little bit more chances created. But, you know, again, they're a very organized, very well ran team. So it's going to be a challenge.
Elisa, what's it like to play in front of the Northern Guard? Obviously, we see the smoke, we hear the chants, but that atmosphere has to be completely nuts to play in front of, almost like there's fire in the stadium that you would see in Europe. What's it been like to play in front of those fans?
It has been absolutely incredible. You know, this is really what soccer is all about. It's about being part of something bigger, and Northern Guard is really creating that. And I'm like someone that kind of zone out during a game, so it's kind of hard for me to actually see what's going on. But you know, looking at pictures, watching the game afterwards, and seeing and kind of just feeling the atmosphere they're creating, like I said, it's absolutely nuts. It's incredible, but it's so much fun to play, and definitely like a once in a lifetime experience for sure.
Coach, what do you think? Is it almost like having a 12th man with having such an incredible stadium? Does it really give you that home advantage? Because we kind of spoke about before, some teams might not even have that home advantage because it's a brand new stadium for them or things like that. How does it find it for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. It definitely brings our players to that next level, gets them over that last push if they can't get through it. I truly believe that our last game, even though it was a loss, they were there to the end. They were helping us fight through it. And you can see our girls, even though they were absolutely spent, did what they could to play for that 90, played until the final whistle. But they bring something that definitely helps us get through. And, you know, it's an experience that, like you said, it helps you guide you through those moments. And we're fortunate enough to have them. I mean, the men's side have been fantastic all year and nearly perfect. And you know, they can attest to that as well. But you know, for our players, our young players, our players that never experienced that, it's something new that they've embraced and hopefully can get over that hump of helping them out. And I told them if we win, they win, and it's just a happy world in Detroit. So let's continue to go in that direction. But yeah, they definitely help you in those moments.
At least somebody's winning in Detroit, though, right, Coach?
Right, jeez.
The Red Wings have been down on the
Let's
down.
not talk other sports, please.
Man, it's been tough. It's been tough. We'll not go there, but hey, soccer right now, that's the hot thing right now in Michigan and in Detroit. So keep it going.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Yeah, just to kind of stay talking about a little NGS question. Elisa, has opposing players told you what it's like to play when they're going? I mean, I would assume that even though it's against them, it's kind of a nice feeling as well.
I haven't really talked to too many other girls yet, just simply because time is so short. But I know it definitely affects them. Like, you know, when they call out specific players because they do that stuff, it definitely affects them. You can tell when, you know, that you play against them, they kind of get a little bit nervous walking out. You can tell that it's intimidating to play in front of such a crowd, especially if you're not used to it. So even though I know I haven't really gotten direct feedback from it, you can kind of feel and you know, sense how it affects them, and it's not always in a good way.
Hey, Coach, last question before we let you guys roll out and get ready for game day here. 7 p.m. kickoff, local time, and Muskegon. Wish you guys the best of luck as well. But, Coach, what adjustments, what changes do we see to the side today? Do you just go with what's been working with the recipe for success to the date? What should fans expect from Detroit City on the pitch today?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the plan, it's going to be the same. The personnel will be completely different. It's almost a different 18 from when we first played Muskegon. There'd be some rotation, some unavailable, but you know, we've had a large player pool since the beginning. For that reason, I'm definitely about rotating players and giving them their rest when needed. And now that we have some of our high school players finishing up their stuff, and then the college kids actually into camp, we probably had against Chicago probably 4 or 5 players that could have been part of the 18, but they haven't trained yet. So I'm not going to throw them in until they get in, at least until the training environment. And I think that kind of hurt us with just our legs, right? We've said it already, and I hate to keep going back to it, but 3 games in 7 days is a lot, especially if we didn't even play week 1. So we're 4 games in after starting week 2. So it was a challenge, but you know, I think tonight, as far as our identity and how we're going to play is going to be very similar because we all train together, but the rotation of players, you'll see a lot of new faces. Eliza's been a mainstay who's not going anywhere as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we're going to rotate around her and some of our key players, but even like Captain Sarah won't be there today. She's got, you know, something going on. So confident with our player pool, just a different group, but the same mentality, hopefully the same outcome.
So we will not be seeing any diving headers from Sarah today.
No diving headers from Sarah. Maybe someone else, but.
Well, now, so any questions, you guys, for Eliza before we let her go? Megan, Stephen,
I'm all good.
Good.
Yeah, let's just get like a little tiny quick roundup of what we can expect to see from you tonight.
Eliza.
Honestly, I think it's going to be a very exciting game. It's going to be tough for sure, playing on a different surface than what we are used to. But honestly, I'm just super excited to see how we come together as a team tonight, And we see what the evening brings. But I'm very, very optimistic, very excited to get out again tonight and show what we are capable of, and hopefully get the 3 points.
Well, good luck to you guys tonight. Hopefully you're able to pull those 3 points out. Again, I hope you both were able to draw and everybody has fun. But we know that in soccer, that's not the case on both sides of the pitch. Good luck to you guys. Have fun. And we will we'll talk to you guys as the summer of soccer here in UWS rolls on.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Appreciate y'all. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. What are your guys' thoughts? What do you think? I see some confidence here. Eliza looks like she's ready. Didn't give too much to bulletin board material, which is good. Coach Sam was always ready, and I think they're primed for some soccer today. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think they're ready to bounce back. They seem confident. They seem like, we're taking that result in our stride and we're not focusing on it. We're just going for the next one. It was really interesting to see what Eliza said about how the atmosphere was in the dressing room after the game. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game tonight. What do you think, Stephen?
Yeah, I think it is going to be very competitive. And I think the way Muskegon, the Risers, have been playing, I can see this being a lot closer than it was, the last time they played as well. But the great thing that I liked what Coach Sam said was really about, he understood how they were organized, and it seems like he's definitely been watching them. So we'll probably see a little bit of tactical changes to kind of affect that. And who knows? I think it's just going to be an incredible game.
Before we bring Erica on, who is supporting or who is representing Muskegon today, I want to ask who's a player we should be watching out for as it relates to Detroit City FC. Megan, do you have a player that we need to keep an eye on?
I mean, for me, it's Maddie Wolfbauer. She has been absolutely phenomenal so far this season. Just an absolute joy to watch. She will strike from inside the box, top of the box, but she's also got that unselfish striker play. Mm-hmm. She recognizes when she should lay off that ball to her teammates, and she's really creating a lot of chances for both herself and her team. And I think that's why Detroit is scoring so many goals.
Stephen, what about you? Is it Maddie, or is there somebody else that has caught your eye for Detroit City?
Yeah, and I would say a lot of us in the Protagonist Discord, when we do the watch parties, a lot of us have been very much rooting for Kenna White. I mean, when we watch her play, I think in the attack as well, other people have been scoring a lot of goals, but her movement up top to swap wings and just try to draw out center backs has been very successful for them. So I'm looking forward to see how she does going forward. And she just got Team of the Week as well. So very much deserved. And I think, we definitely have a few stars out there in Detroit.
Detroit's played 3 weeks. In the last 3 weeks of Team of the Week, they've had one player who has represented them on that sheet. So, they're doing something right in Detroit. Hopefully they can continue. Hopefully today isn't that day. Muskegon gets a chance to come away with a point, and we see a really good matchup. Joining us today from Muskegon Risers, we have Erica, who's going to join us. Erica, how are you doing today? Goalkeeper, part of the goalkeeper union. How's everything going?
Pretty good. Excited for the game tonight.
So, Erica, before we get into some takes of the game for today, tell us a little bit what's going on with you. Where have you been? How did you get involved in the game of soccer?
So I've been playing since I was real little. My 2 older sisters have played forever as well. So just really have had a ball at my feet since I was born because of them. Played club as soon as I could and ended up at Michigan Tech a few years ago and am the goalkeeper there. That's up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so real far away from where I live. It's your typical I've played since I was 5 story. Nice.
So let's get into some questions, and I'll go ahead and start. The season didn't have the right vibe to get off on the right foot. You guys took an 8-0 defeat. How has things been? How have you guys been able to turn it around since that loss to Corktown match day 1?
Yeah, so the first match we really, I think, had this with most of who was at that game under our belt, and we just didn't have the organization or the mindset, I think, going into this league, none of us really understood what it was actually about and how high of a level of competition it is. So I think with a few games under our belt, we actually started to understand like that this is high level soccer and maybe a level that some of us haven't even seen before. And I think that understanding really allowed us to step up our game and getting those practices under our belt as well, playing together, because most of us had never played together. So that just really allowed us to be more organized.
Megan, questions?
Yeah, so it was almost a case of you guys just needed that bit more time, and we've kind of seen that with the results. The following 2 games after that 8-0 defeat were really close contests, just 1 goal differentials. How did you guys come off that? Like, that's quite almost just as tough, you could say, because you were so close to getting that win. So how were you able to bounce back from those?
Yeah, I think our team is great at taking each of those losses in every game really as learning opportunities. We have been great on the field, like chemistry-wise, as we go down a goal and we talk about what happened, why did that happen? We don't sit there and yell at each other for, oh, that was your fault, that was her fault. And I think that, yes, losses are hard and maybe even harder than the 8-0 loss because they are so close and we did have opportunities, but we took away a bit of knowledge from every single time we were either scored on or lost in a close game like that.
Now, how are you guys able to build like chemistry so quickly? Especially because the bounce back seem, on our end, to happen immediately. Yeah,
I really think that even though an 8-0 loss is not great, I think we took that and was just like, okay, now we gotta be able to work together. We shared that experience, and I think we really took that and ran with it and learned how to bond over that and figure it out together.
As a goalkeeper, you almost are you are the eyes, you are the coach on the pitch. How have you, as the goalkeeper, how have you been able to kind of settle the club and be a coach on the pitch during these matches?
Yeah, I think just with our back line coming out, like I said, I don't think we fully understood the level of competition that is in this league, and including myself. So I don't think that I recognized how to organize my back line as efficiently as I do now. And so I am able to build that back line and organize them through communication in the ways that need done. And it just gradually moves up the field as I organize the defenders. They have less to worry about and they can organize the midfielders, and the midfielders therefore can talk to the forwards more.
So you've mentioned a little bit about
Florida internet got her. Got her. Steven, do you have a question? We'll come back to Megan here in a minute.
No, I just think it's I just think that's like a very humbling thing, the way it's like you can kind of like bond over that. And the goalkeeping that I've seen, like I've been so anxious, and I would imagine that if I was in net, like the amount of quality shots that you guys have been facing, it's just been incredible, and you guys have been doing such a good job. Where do the Risers go from here? Let's say we got Detroit again this week, so what's the goal? How are you going to get that win?
Yeah, so I think it can be seen throughout the past few games even that we have really learned how to up through the back and into the attacking third a lot better than we have in the past, and able to put up some goals. So I think now that we are more organized in that sense and able to build an attack rather than just try and kick and go for it because we feel so on our heels, that we are really going to be able to have more opportunities than we have in the past, and especially against DCFC last time. Because it was just our second game and we still are continuing to learn and grow as a team.
All right, let's go back to Megan. The technical difficulties, the Florida humidity has gotten a hold of her. It's coming from the girl who wears a sweatshirt at night. It's 90 degrees in Florida. But Megan, what do we got?
It's all part about keeping the body warm, ready for game day. That's you know.
That was Thursday in your games
I
today.
do apologize for my technical difficulties. As I was saying, it's obviously quite a busy schedule with Muskegon, but do you guys have time to do that bonding off the field? Is there anything that you guys do as a club to kind of bring you guys together, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch too?
So a lot of us live close to each other, and I know that some days it's you'll see a picture of like, oh, this group of girls went to the beach today, or things like that. And there's a fair amount of us who actually play on the same college teams or club teams prior. So we do spend a fair amount of time with each other, whether it's as a whole or individuals and stuff like that. And I think we really work on that in practice as well. We have a very competitive but also fun atmosphere at practice. And I think that is really beneficial in building that chemistry.
Erica, before we let you go today to get ready, primed up and geared, I got one question. I know Megan will ask the other one about routines, but who's a player on your club that has really stood out to you, that's got, that started to kind of create a name for themselves, not just in Muskegon, but the UWS?
I think that would be Mackenzie Selvius. We have moved her around the field and she's played in a few different spots, but mostly the midfield position. And she is, I would say, probably the ultimate playmaker especially for us. She makes a difference wherever she is on the field. And I don't think I've ever seen a player who will work as hard as she does. And no matter if the ball is across the field, she's going for it. If she sees that opportunity, she's going to work as hard as she can to be able to get the result. Nice.
Last questions for Erica before we let her go and get the tennis ball training in before her match today.
Do you have any sort of pre-game superstitions, rituals that you like to do?
Yeah, I do. So left sock, and then right sock, and then same with the shoes, goes the same order, and then right shin guard, left shin guard. And then the braids, I do 2 braids for game day on top. And then, I think that's about all.
Steven, parting question before we let Erica head out to get ready?
Really just comments. I'm looking forward just to see, this matchup and then as you guys go forward, because I just think it's incredible. Like you guys are, elevating to that level and you guys just keep going every single time and you guys just keep getting more and more. So I'm just looking forward to see how you guys look at the end of the season.
Thank you. Yeah, me too.
Well, Erica, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you guys the best of luck. Like I said, as the non-biased, I hope you guys get a draw, but we know that in the locker room, there's definitely some extra added pointage to getting things in. So we appreciate you taking the time to join us this morning on the Kickoff Show. Good luck today and have fun.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, tonight, 7 p.m. local time, Muskegon, Detroit City. It's going to be a matchup, guys. I'm excited. There's a lot of potential here for a great match. I think we'll see something different. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the scoreline of last time, it was a really close scoreline, but not necessarily a really, really close game in terms of possession and that like style of play and stuff like that. We did see 2 absolutely great goals. So for me, I think this time round, we're going to see a close game, but in a different kind of way. I think that it'll be more tactical. These teams have been able to see each other play. They've played against each other. I also think we're going to see some more great goals. It's the UWS, so we are just producing absolute bangers all the time.
Love it. Steven?
Yeah, and like I said at the end, I'm just like really impressed. I think an underrated quality is how you can play up to a level and then continue to grow and learn. And I just think that is like something that needs to be like really looked at. And I'm going to go and I'm going to say I'm going to pick them. because I want to see like this like continue to grow. It's a culmination of efforts, and I just think like the way that they've been playing is just gonna pay off for them, and they don't want to lose. So yeah, I'm gonna go Risers this week. I'm gonna be that person.
Well, in terms of players, I mean, Candace Orns, Brennan Mustard have been absolutely just making things happen. The game has changed, the momentum. You can see that week 1 match against Corktown was not going to sit well with them. Talking to Port City supporters, they knew what their club was capable of. I personally thought that if this is the first result, this is going to be the first result of many that were like it. We had Darby and John on from the Port City supporters during our weekly UWS Weekly, and they made sure that they put me in my place and said this isn't going to happen again, and it has been that way. And so John's going to pitch in here. Steven, he's going to say you're crazy. You would like to be. Hey, somebody had to help him out. John. Thank you. So you think about what's going on, right? I think Detroit City, they're organized. I don't think it's going to be. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this nicely. I don't think it's going to be the same result that you saw in week 2. I just think Detroit City does something different. They're mad. They're salty about that loss to Mustang, and they need to take some frustration out. We could see, it's a totally new 18. Coach told us that, and so a new 18 brings new opportunities to see some new talent, something different. Muskegon hasn't seen it. Nobody's seen it. I'm curious, Megan, how does that work when you can pull out a brand new 18 and say, here, play this? What does that do in terms of like psyche for teams?
That is such a privilege for a coach to be able to do that. As a player, it's pretty crazy to be able to know that, will I be involved this week? Because it could be that last 18. But everybody on that team is ready. They want to play, and they want to prove that, hey, you know what? Ever 18 you're putting out, I should be included in that 18. So they've got top quality players. We've seen it. So I expect nothing less from this new 18. They're going to come out and they can't just continue that bar. They're going to want to raise that bar. So we, like you say, we could see a big bounce back from their first loss of the season. But at the same time, Muskegon they're gonna want to say, hey, people, stop talking about this 8-0 loss. We've proved it. We can compete with these teams. So it's a tough one. I am thinking it's going to be a Detroit win, but I don't think it's going to be a major big scoreline like that first week. I think we need to move on from this first week now, and I'm sure the Risers agree.
You don't want to be on the crazy side?
Well, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. Now, think about this, Stephen. You brought out a new 18. They have not played in a match together. Think about how that could be unsettling to some extent. Right? You got training is different. Look, it's called practice. Allen Iverson told us this. It's practice. Practice and games are two different beasts. There's just a different mentality. You have Port City supporters. You don't have the Northern Guard behind you. They'll be there. Obviously, they're not going to miss this trip. But it's a different environment. Your training environment, you can you can control factors. Match, you can't. And so I'm curious, your thoughts. Could we see that this 18, yes, it's a great thing to have, but again, gift and curse. What are your thoughts?
I definitely think on the other side, like seeing a whole 18, like what is that going to do for their mentality to say, like, we were competitive in that last match against, what you had your first 18, you would like, I guess, go and consider your like first team, right? And now all of a sudden they're switching out all these players. I can see that almost on the other side and be like, hey, that's like almost like disrespecting, and I'm going to go back and we're going to take it to you this time. So like I said, I'm on that side, and I just think it's going to be a big boost in mentality for the Risers.
Hey, John, call him crazy one more time. Watch what happens. We'll see. But hey, listen, guys, we have a lot of games this weekend. In fact, we're to the point now where we probably should start talking about these other teams and plugging them, because we have a full slate of matches for week 5 in the UWS Summer of Soccer. Check it out, uws.com/UWS-week-5-preview. I didn't do it. That's not my fault. But if you think about this, we have a lot of games. There's a lot of opportunity. Let's talk about some of these games. And Megan, start us off. What match has your interest this weekend?
Okay, well, this isn't a completely new team to talk about, because I'm going to go back to Lone Star. And I know we've spoken about them a lot because they really have captured a lot of our attention, but they're playing against Batco on June 6th at 7:30 p.m. at Round Rock. And Batco have just come off of their first match of the season where they drew 3-3 with Side FC, who are currently top of that conference, ranked 4th in the power rankings. I think this is going to be a great test where we can really see what Batco and Lone Star are really about. You know, these two teams have kind of grasped my attention. Lone Star obviously put a stop to that 2-game winning streak of the Athenians, who they were almost the talk of the UWS until Lone Star came and turned heads with a 6-0 win. And then Batco with a 3-3 draw. Obviously, they can score some goals. Obviously, Lone Star can score some goals. I think this is going to be an extremely high-scoring match. For me, I'm thinking it's going to be 4-2 to Lone Star. I'm going to back them, but 6 goals in a game, I think it's going to be another 6-goal game. I also just want to say, before I hear your guys' score predictions, I saw on Twitter that if you head out to this game, you can win a pair of tickets to the US women's national team game versus Nigeria at Austin FC on June 16th. So, guys, get out to this game if you're in the area.
That's true. You got to get out, support the Batco, and possibly win a ticket. You know, it's funny. So we haven't said anything yet. It's been on the secret. But Katie, who plays for Athenians, she's one of our hosts. I can see her face as you're talking about this, and she's just ready to kind of go through the screen right now, Meg. We were talking about that match. So hey, be careful. Be careful. You never know who's watching or listening. Steven, what game has your attention this weekend?
Well, I definitely am looking at Atlanta and Atlanta Panthers and Pensacola FC. Of course, I'm going to be listening for Danny, right? I want to hear that. Like, way to go, Danny. Have some fun. I can't wait to hear you out there. But as well as Pensacola FC, they were the 2019 Protagonist Club of the Year. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they're going to be doing in the UWS. So.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Danny is actually in the car, probably listening. He is heading to Atlanta to do the Cujo stream. You can find that stream on the link down low, right beneath Megan there. Check it out. But yeah, Danny is going to be the voice of the Panthers. I'm curious to see what happens with Danny. Don't get cold feet, man. It's okay. No. For me, I have to say the matchup that entices me and excites me is Blue Heat and International. It's a California derby, SoCal derby. Both sides enter this match having played one game this season already against Congo. Congo drew with International, and then Blue Heat just blew them out of the water 5-0 to get things going. The Blue Heat, look, this is an important conference. This is the golden ticket. You've got Impact, you've got Foothills, you've got Congo, you've got International, and you've got Blue Heat. One team is going to go to the national championship July 23rd through the 25th to be determined in terms of location. But listen, Masters University, Reese Field, 6 p.m. Pacific. This is going to be a matchup that, look, if Blue Heat can come out with the result that they think they can come out with, this is going to be a three-horse race between them, Foothill, and Impact. I mean, I don't think Impact is going to be a team to be playing with. Troy Flannery up there has them ready, and I think they're going to do some big things. But what are your guys' thoughts on this match? We got a California game. It's going to be warm, but it also is going to be really windy this evening here in California, down in the Southern California part. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, it's definitely been hot out here. I mean, we're reaching down into the 90s pretty much all the time now. So it is beautiful Cali weather. So it's going to be great for some soccer. And I'm excited because I just want to see, Southern California soccer grow. So I'm happy to see it in the UWS. And this, I think, is going to be a match that we're going to see going forward. It's just really going to be a great rivalry.
Megan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love a good rivalry game, so I definitely think this is one to watch to see that progress. I'm back in SC Blue Heat. They had a great start to the season with that 5-0 win. Put them in my top 4. They always produce great matches. They've got some really high-quality players. But I think it's going to be a really good one, and this conference is definitely one to watch.
Well, guys, there's always something that's going to happen, right? It's crazy. Some result will come another way. Maybe one team is ready and we just don't know about it. They're under the radar of sorts. but we'll see. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fun. So listen, let's get into some goals of the week. Goals of the week from Select and from Mike Cujo. Let's get these up. I know there's like 8 different documents we've got going on here. Well, let's see. We got a question from John here. Steven, where is your favorite place to watch a game?
Ooh, I mean, I guess, I'd have to be biased when I stay out here in Southern California. I used to love like when you would see at like UCR, that was like just such a great like venue, University of California, Riverside. But we definitely have some great venues as we go around throughout Temecula and even going into like Silver Lakes. Hopefully we can see some teams more play in that. That's all in the Inland Empire. That's kind of where I reside. So we just have great weather and it's a great environment for soccer.
Well, Inland Empire, there's never a bad moment there. A lot of soccer tournaments that have happened in my time growing up. So all good. Hey, so let's go in. We missed a week. We were a week off on goals of the week for week 3. So let's pull these up real quick. Here though. So we have Tiffany Weimer, one of her many, with just an absolute missile from the corner of the box. Iris Rabeau, little twisty turn there.
Nice whip.
Yeah, the curve on this ball is great.
Yeah.
You can see the goalkeeper just doesn't know which way to dive at first, and the reaction is just too slow.
And then Chanel Johnson, the cap it off upper V with just a one-timer. Just watch the bounce and then go. Here we go. One more time through week 3. These are also up on the UWS Twitter and Instagram. You can put your vote in today for week 3, and we are working on making sure we can potentially get some awards out to these ladies for their efforts and their goals of the week. But again, Iris with just the whip. I look. I'm gonna say this might be the taker here. The whip on that, the way the ball knuckled. I don't know if you can beat it.
Yeah,
you beat it. So
you can see the spin on the ball, which is so great. Like you can just see how it starts quick and then it just slows down as it starts whipping through. Great goal.
Yeah.
Megan, who you got?
Yeah, for me, it's Iris Rabeau. When you've got the goalkeeper stepping back to think it's going to go straight over her and then realizing she needs to quickly go to that one side. And she's trying, she's full stretch, she's made a great effort, but nothing can stop the power and the technique of that strike.
All right, let's go into saves of the week from week 3 here as we look and get ready for action on week 5. Saves of the week, Lucy from Lancers.
Whew.
And then Sandra Byrne from the Lancers as well. Kick save. It's not hockey. Great save, though.
Yeah, whatever's going to get there, as long as it stays out the net, right?
Let's go through it one more time here. Again, UWS Soccer, at UWS Soccer, you can put your vote in today for week 3 and week 4 goal and save of the week. So we have, again, Long Island. Got to make sure we fix those on the bottom there. Good save, hit it up off the crossbar. Don't think she saw the way it came in, and ball possibly dipped down and gave a little whip. And Sandra with the kick save. I gotta go with the kick save. She's kind of going one direction and was able to change course here. Thoughts? Yeah,
for me, it's the kick save. The first save, it's good, but she puts it out straight back into play, like right in front of the goal. So whoever's first to that, if it's going in, if it's one of those players that can just tap it in, that's a nice, easy goal. Whereas in that second save, we see the ball going out. So that's really giving her time to then regain herself and get back up. I mean, whether she meant it to go that wide, who knows? Ready to use her feet, whatever it takes to keep it out the goal. But I'm going with that second one.
All right, let's move in. And Steven, what do you got?
I mean, we're just all agreeing today because that kick save, I mean, with the way it's like, if you have to make a kick save, like she's definitely thinking about using her hands, but just knows in that split second that she has to make a decision and she just makes that save. So yeah, I'm definitely going kick save.
Let's stay with saves of the week here. We're going to look at saves of the week for week 4. Megan spent a lot of time watching game film, and these are the saves that she thought were going to be those. Again.
It's the same match. We had in the 20th minute, this one, keeping things level at 1-1. And then again in the second half, it's still 1-1. These are two huge saves that just, if it had gone in, it would have changed the game. What are you guys thinking on these?
Steven?
I mean, that first save, like when you see like her running, the Chicago striker running right, I mean, that was such a confident save. They both are. But man, she just went and she just did everything she needed to do. I mean, there's even a little bit of hesitation, but like she just like sprung right at it. And I mean, I would have ran out of the way. That's why I don't play goalkeeper anymore. So,
well, you know what's interesting. You look at the saves, right? And I'm going to critique. I'm not a goalkeeper. I was a backup goalie. That was about it. But for me, Rebecca coming out and just smothering the ball, not giving up the rebound, able to stay on top of it, finishes through. I mean, that's textbook. That's what you expect. Anna does a great job. She gets in there. She tries to smother it, but it just popped out. I'm going to be more critical of the attacker here, though. As number 24 should have made a different route, perhaps, or gone a different route to get to the ball, to potentially put it in the back of the net. Anna did a good job of getting there. A lot of contact. That's a hard play in general. But the attacker should have had a better angle to get in there, maybe slid, but could have been looking out for the safety of her teammates and her opponent. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, we'll see. I think for me, the save of the week has to go to Rebecca. I think she did a really good job of smothering, staying on top of the ball, and not allowing a rebound. Because rebounds can be costly, especially in tight matches, especially when it's 1-1. Joe, who used to play goalie, he got a new pair of gloves, but he won't. They'll collect dust as we go. But Joe would probably agree with me on that. And Joe, I know you're watching, so if you don't agree with me, don't say anything. So let's get to goal of the week. We had some, and I'm going to use Megan's term here. We had some absolute bangers this week of goals, and I couldn't repeat, and I'm going to save this for a second. But we're going to start off with the goal that I didn't put into our UWS Weekly Goal of the Week, but we definitely got it in the UWS because I saw that Megan liked the celebration more than the goal, so I didn't put it in. So put this on Megan. Let's go ahead and walk through these week 4 goals of the week, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, so we have a free kick. Takes great confidence to score a free kick. She knows what she wants to do. Brilliant curl to get it around the wall, slots it in. This one, I love this one. The turn off the throw-in. We're really seeing throw-ins being used in soccer right now.
This goal had my attention. We had a different angle. We had the field side angle of this. But this goal actually was probably my favorite. Why? Because it's on the volley. She pulled the defender away and made it. Gianna, this goal, again, this is ridiculous. About 20, 25 yards out and just slots it home. I thought she did a really good job. We've debated this. We debated this on Thursday's production meeting. I'm not 100% sold on it. And the reason I'm not sold on it is because the player wasn't sold on it. Again, overhead kick. I get it. It's what we wish to see, what we want to see, but I don't know. And there's one goal that's missing, and I'm actually going to pull it up because it was the week 4. It was my goal of the week. And let me pull up here. I gotta pull Sarah's goal out, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it needs to be done.
We've got to. Sarah Hughey from Detroit City. Look, this is a diving header. Who doesn't like a good diving header? I mean, sorry. I'm sorry. And if you look at it, she's like, yeah, I've done this before, and walks away. Like, teammates are frantic, and she's like, yeah, it's okay. It's just a goal. I've done this. I'm a professional. Let's see. Here we go. Mike Cujo. Go live was flying through the air like Superwoman, Wonder Woman with her lasso. She's scoring a goal. I mean, come on. It's just.
Yeah, I feel like we need to edit a cape onto her and have that in slow-mo.
Oh, where's my graphics team? We need that. John hates DCFC, but he did vote for that one. Look, hey, again, Sarah, we're gonna find a way to get you a cape on this goal, and we're gonna put the Superman or Superwoman song to it. I don't know I think it's the same one, isn't it? I think so. But goal of the week, vote for goal of the week. Go to UWS Soccer on Twitter and get your goal of the week votes in. Not only did we have goal of the week, guys, we had team of the week, and every week we were able to pull out a team of the week is great. But this is the first week where we haven't seen a repeat honor. Again, fourth week of action, a variety of excellent performances. Madison Hall, I apologize, was this week's defender of the week from Lone Star Republic, and Mallory Olson of the Chicago Mustangs earned offensive player of the week. You might have seen her. She was the one that in the save of the week got the ball smothered by Rebecca. But in the last 3 weeks, as I said earlier, we've seen an attacking player from DCFC, Detroit City FC, for those of you at home, make team of the week. And there was not a single player on this week's team that has gotten recognition to date. So it's nice to see that we're getting some new faces, fresh faces to team of the week sheets. What are your guys' thoughts? Who stood out for you this week?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Mallory Olson. She looked so strong as a striker there. She scored twice in that matchup against Detroit. I mean, we've spoke about Detroit a lot. They're a tough team, and she's gone out and scored twice. She looked really, really strong, and I'm really, really excited to see what she can produce this season. I think she's definitely a player to watch. And then also Madison Hall looked extremely strong in that 6-0 victory. She not only is a defender, but she's a defender that can attack. She joins that attack and offers that second dimension, which is so important in football today.
Steven, what about you? Is there a player that stood out and kind of made you like, okay, I get it?
Well, I just thought there was like, two actually that didn't just probably deserve to be on there a little bit earlier. And that's Kenna White. I just think like she's been doing so many things in the attack to allow DCFC to click, and a lot of other people have been scoring goals. But also Satara Murray, like just being out on the defense, like I mean she's been like holding it down there. You can see her with her teammates, the way she's coaching them, the way she's lining them up, the way she's moving them. I mean, I just think that is something is of extreme value. And congrats to her for the international call up, and I'm sure we'll speak a little bit about it too.
I mean, not just her, but Roma, who's got called up to Ireland. Mm-hmm. And then we have 5 players, current or former players from the UWS who have been called up to the Jamaican national team. I am ecstatic for the Reggae girls. I think that's going to be huge to see some of our talent pulling there. We have Chantel, Allison, Chanelli, and Satara all getting called up. It's great. And not only is it great for them, it's great for the game to see players at the UWS level being given these opportunities to be called up. And I'm excited. What do you guys think about these call-ups?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Steven.
I was going to say nothing excites me more in lower league soccer than seeing international call-ups, because it's just a test to how good the quality is in the UWS. So I'm excited to see, and I think we can see a few more players over the next coming weeks too.
Yeah, it's an incredible honor, and so amazing for these girls to get this opportunity. Congratulations to them. I'm sure they're absolutely buzzing about it, and it just really does show that quality of the UWS. We have top players, and they deserve this recognition.
Megan, do you have outside of England, is there another opportunity, maybe Wales or Northern Ireland for you?
This girl is fully English.
All right, well, we're gonna get you a call up soon. It's okay. We'll call over to England and the FA and say, hey, look, give her a chance. It's all you need.
Yeah,
just a chance, right?
I think I'm gonna be like one of those Jamie Vardy stories where it doesn't happen till late, but patience.
Oh my goodness, she went with the Jamie Vardy story already. Hey, week 5 provides some storylines. I gotta ask: are Lone Star Republic and Chicago, are they for real, or was this a one off shoot here for them? No.
Oh well, I definitely think Chicago's for real. And we'll see. But I like Mallory Olson. I mean, she's definitely turned into one of my favorite strikers. Like, she has everything: the physicality, the tactical ability. I mean, the way she can play with the ball in front of her as well as her back to goal. I just think she's definitely got it all as a striker, and I can see her scoring a lot more goals for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said in the preview for week 5, I think this weekend we really find out if Lone Star are legit. we spoke to them on Thursday. Jonathan had a great talk with Jackie and Tyler, which was really interesting. They seem like such a great club, and I really hope they are legit because they can do huge things for Dallas soccer. So, yeah, one to see. I mean, 6-0 for the first game. That's such an incredible scoreline, but was it an anomaly? I'm really excited to find out.
And it was against the Athenians, who, like, you know, they've been one of my favorite clubs to watch, and I was very much surprised. But I think they'll bounce back. But yeah, I think both of them, you know, are for real.
How does San Antonio regroup? That's the question I have to ask. You know, you go and you see these score lines. We've seen Muskegon. Muskegon had it worse, and they've regrouped, and they are a surprising team. Athenians were walking away with this conference. This is a conference that I thought was going to be the most competitive, with Austin and Batco, Wilco, Side FC, who we haven't even talked about yet. And they kind of getting some shade. I'm waiting for them to reach out and say, hey, look, it's our turn. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Can San Antonio regroup and take hold of this? I see nods in the back room, but what's the storyline going to be?
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, they played Houston Dash and really did hold their own in that. It was a good result for them, a great opportunity for the girls. And I think I think that was an anomaly for them, you know, a 6-0 loss. I think it's going to be a similar thing to the Risers, where that brings them together, that it creates a different kind of team bonding to come over that hurdle, to come together and say, look, like, that happened. It is never going to happen again. Yeah. And these players and these teams in this conference need to watch out, because we are not to be messed with again.
Yeah, I think that's spot on right there. I think it's just like, you have this opportunity to learn. They're going to take it and know that they now can't have a misstep either, because if they do, you know, there's going to be another team waiting to just pound on the goals. And I don't think we're going to see that misstep anymore. So I'm looking forward to see how they pan out.
Let's talk a little bit about UWS too. And Megan, this is right in your heart right here. And Stephen, even yours with Unity. But let's talk about Sunrise. Sunrise has a lot of D1 athletes, a lot of D1 players who are on this side, all based out of Florida, getting ready to come to Unity. I know Mark and Chris very well down in Unity. I know Megan very well. What should we anticipate and expect from this matchup today? And Megan, I'm going to go with you because you're the expert. You're the one playing in the match.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a really, really tough test for us. We've been working really hard, and we've kind of going about it like, we haven't seen too much of them, but they will have seen a lot of us. Like, we put stuff out there. Yeah. And so we're going into this game kind of blind, and they're going into it with, we know what this team is about. We know they're going to be posting all over social media about it. We want to beat this team. So it's going to be a really great matchup, and there's two completely different, unique approaches to it. We're just going into it. We're going to play our game. We've been practicing hard. We've got some things up our sleeve that we hope we get the opportunity to put out on the field. And yeah, I'm really excited, but it is a huge test for us. Like, this could not be a bigger test. So we're going to start the season hopefully well, but definitely whatever happens, we're going to be a team. We're going to go through it all together, and we'll be back out on the field for each week to play hard.
Before I get to you, Stephen, I got to go back to Andy. Andy, come on, man. You're just there with us. You know it. You know it. We've seen it with Orange Soccer or Orange County Soccer. We know you're with us. You love the nerd style of soccer here. Hey, Stephen, so what are your thoughts? I know you're a big Unity guy. I see the scarf in the background. Your only UWS scarf, by the way, in the background. Tell us a little bit. What do you think of Unity today? Sunrise, their first match. I know you've spoken with Mark and Chris a little bit, but what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like put my bias aside, right? I mean, I've been following Unity now for a while, and shout out to them. I love them, and I just, you know, there's a lot of good players on Unity, just from watching them. And one of the things that I just keep telling Mark, and he's probably tired of hearing it, is Jodianne McGaw, man, she is just incredible. And I think she's someone who we can see, you know, playing at a professional level sometime soon. I mean, she is very talented. So I'm just looking forward to see what the rest of Florida soccer looks like in UWS too.
Again, if you guys pay attention to any matches and you have something to say about them, please use hashtag Summer of Soccer for all of your UWS stuff. This is the Summer of Soccer. It is about UWS. We want to see what your thoughts are. We want to know what you're thinking. So make sure you put out there hashtag Summer of Soccer. for any match, not just the matches we talk about today, but all matches that we have going on this summer of soccer in the UWS. Listen, this is the time where I got to bring up contenders and pretenders. We are in week 5. We are getting closer and closer, inching closer to the national championship, July 23rd through 25th, site to be determined. But who are our contenders right now, guys? I got to ask, who do we see this week take that step to say, I am here?
I mean, it's tough. I think we see Lone Star saying, hey, watch out for us. I think this could be a potential turning point for FC Austin Elite after kind of getting back onto winning ways. I really hope we see a lot more from that club. I think we can't call them a pretender, but they're sort of like under the radar. They're not really a contender right now. They're not a pretender, but I hope we see them come up and be a contender. FC Buffalo, we spoke about them a bit. Another win this weekend, I think that puts them into the top 5 of the power rankings for me. And then SC Blue Heat, I think another victory there will really set them apart in that West Conference.
Yeah.
Steven, who's your contender?
Well, she said FC Buffalo, so she took that, but I really
Danny have been stuck on that. Her and Danny, ever since week 1, they've been stuck on that.
So have I, and rightfully so. I mean, FC Buffalo has been doing some great things, and I just love the way they play. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I also think, when we look at Athenians, I do think that they are contenders, and I think we're going to see some. There's no way they don't bounce back. So, I definitely look forward to them. And my dream matchup was in the first couple of weeks looking up was Athenians versus Detroit. And, I still think that, Athenians are going to take it. Like, they've been one of my favorite teams to watch regardless of that loss. So.
Is there a pretender in this league yet? Have we been able to say that there's a team that is a pretender, or is everybody a contender at this point? Or should we not call them pretenders? Should we call them up and coming?
I kind of like up and coming a little bit more. I don't want to go and say anyone's a pretender, but there's definitely a few teams that are right there. And Megan mentioned FC Austin Elite is right there. I would say one of the teams I would like to see a little bit more from is Rochester. I just think, with they play good soccer, but it just hasn't really come out in the results. And I think they can turn it around. And I just want to see a little bit more from them. So I'm not going to call them a pretender, but I definitely think there's someone I want to see a bit more.
I completely agree with that idea. The Lancers 0-3. I know Soccer Sam is not excited about that start, but I also know that they're still trying to get everybody into camp. Just like Detroit City didn't have their full 36, but now they got their full 36. Detroit or Rochester definitely getting there. Megan, do you have a team that's up and coming?
Up and coming, I think, is the whole Southeast. We've got that first matchup between Atlanta and Pensacola, which is going to be a huge game to set the standard in that conference. So I'm really excited to see how that pans out. I think that's definitely a conference to watch. So that's it for me.
My up and coming is going to be Canada. Foothills has just a great history of success in the UWS. They've been to Final Fours. They've been to national championships. Troy Flannery heads from Foothills out to Impact, where Impact, look, we don't know anything about. We know that they're pulling a lot of good players from the national side of Canada, U20s, and even their national team. I think Impact comes out and really starts to kind of set a tone in Canada, but not just Canada. They send a message. Can't wait for Gretna. I think Gretna is another opportunity, another team that they do a lot. They have a great presence. They're a great club. It's just a matter of, okay, how does it translate? So we'll see. I think there's a lot to be talked about. Tell me I'm wrong. I think those are the two clubs that people need to be ready for.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to Canada getting into the action, because that's just going to strengthen, everything that's happening out here on the West Coast. And then you'll be able to see, how these teams actually, lay against the rest of the UWS. And, we'll see what the Blue Heat when they have to face some of those clubs.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's the summer of soccer. Make sure you guys use hashtag summer of soccer for everything UWS as we go forward. Before we go today, Stephen, Megan, any last things that people need to be aware of or should be paying attention to as we get ready for week 5 of UWS soccer?
Just keep active on Twitter. Any goals that you see, post them, tag us. We love to see them. Head over to my Cujo to see all those streams. Unity will be streaming the match tonight if you guys want to tune in. And yeah, stay active. We love to hear your thoughts.
Steven?
Yeah. Clubs, I mean, we definitely have been doing our UWS watch parties in the Protagonist Soccer Discord, so always look for those links. It's just a fun time. We get to watch some great UWS matches, as well as Cubs, get active. Like you said, send the goals. Lancaster did that great thread that I retweeted about like their own performers, seeing things more like that. And if you guys want stories or anything like that, DMs are open. Let's talk and, we'll push that out.
Awesome. I'm excited. It's fun. So, hey, guys, thank you so much. Not just to those of you watching, but Stephen, Megan, thank you so much for taking the time to wake up this morning, to have, a cup of coffee, a bottle of rain. It's the summer of soccer here in the UWS. We hope you enjoyed today's show. We're excited about everything UWS, UWS 2. Hope you are as well. Don't forget to follow the show and our hosts on social media. We also have a surprising return of Our Cup of Tea. I'm excited. I'm going to announce this. We're going to have a big announcement this week. Our Cup of Tea returning to the fold with some awesome hosts and some great conversation. So until next week, actually Thursday for UWS Weekly, and then next Saturday for the kickoff show for week 6 as we get you ready for everything UWS in the summer of soccer. Cheers to everyone. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Cheers, everyone.